watching the stars blinking. Wenjie was stunned. Suddenly the doorbell rang. It was Saul. He came in and greeted Tavira picture and sat with her mother. Wenjie asks Saul about how fascinating is the stars blinking, but he refuses to accept that last night was real. His conclusion told that it was all fake as no satellite could take the images of what happened last night. Wenjie didn't accept it his theory, but asked him that then who is behind this all. Auggie greets Jin and enters her office building. Everyone in there talked about the stars blinking, but she was scared as her timer was running. Everyone in the office congratulated her as she was going to experiment a very special technique in the history of cutting a diamond from nanofibers, but she was trembling while conducting it. As the machine finished doing her job, she went in and tapped the diamond, and it separated in same rectangular shapes, which was difficult to do by any other cutter. Every other scientist in them were glad that they helped in such research, but then Auggie couldn't think more as the timer was running out. She told everyone that as she is the head of the research center, she requests to close all the researches to be held here. Everyone was shocked as Auggie left the room. As she walked outside, the timer was running out. She looked at the numbers and suddenly the timer disappeared in front of her. She sat on the bench and took a long breath. A man then told her not to stop, her colleagues are behind. It was Dashi. She asked him that who he is and what he needs, so he told that doesn't she want to know about the stars blinking to her. The scene changes to Inner Mongolia, China, 1968. Wenjie was talking to the officer about how long they have been sending messages to outer world, and did they ever get any reply. She even told him that the power that they are using to communicate is very less, but he told her that this is the biggest in the world. She also gives an article to him and asks to find the person who lives in California. Later the officer comes to ask her that is she having fun hearing the sound, but she looked excited. After the officer gave her a letter of Dr. Peterson from California as she asked. Wenjie then explained a situation to the officer about the signal blast in America which came from Jupiter. But she also told that they also heard them in China as it came from Sun. But in real the signals were from Jupiter which went into Sun and enhanced their magnitude and came to us. In conclusion, she told that we can use Sun to magnify our signal to spread it into outer space, but the reply could take years to come. She told him by this, we will be the first to get the signal in all world. The officer then told the idea to his superior, and they were impressed by him. Then the superior Lei Hitchens called Wenjie and asked her to tell about Yang's idea. She was saddened watching her idea being used by Yang, but then Lei scolded him that if they did that then we all be will executed. He scolded both and send them away to not to think about it anyone more as it will be a disaster for them. Later, in the room they were going to test the transmission, but Wenjie was curious and wanted to experiment her theory, so she quitting changed the direction of the signal to Sun when no one was looking towards her and the signals were gone to the location. The scene changes towards the current time. Dashi questioned Auggie about Mike Evans by showing his picture, but she didn't know who he was. Dashi also showed her the video from 2 nights back when she talked to the girl, who told her to look for the blinking sky. But in the video there was no girl and she was alone talking to herself. Dashi told her that he believed that there was someone with her as in the video her cigarette lighted up in midair, which was beyond expectation. He then asked her that why does anyone wanted to close her business, but she had no clue. The officer then told her that you had also the countdown and so many other, and she asked what happened to other, so he told that some left their job and other killed themselves. Jin in her house tried that golden helmet again, and then she reached into the other place. This time she met a man named Count and a little girl follower of Count. She thought that their characters, and it all a game, but Count denied her theory and asked her to follow them. It was nighttime and Count wanted to go and meet Zhu the king there and wanted to tell his theory to his lord Zhu. But on their way the sun came out and they hid under a rock, but there was less space, so Count asked the little girl to go in the sun. Jin got worried as it was too hot and askew. The girl went in the sun, she dried up in seconds. When the sun dropped, Count went out and rolled the dried skin of his follower and told Jin to keep her and said in last if any one of them is alive they can revive others bad and alone on his journey, leaving no clue for Jin what happened. Saul sitting in the bar flirty with girl taking about his theory that the blinking of the sky is all a scam and nothing. Jin was curious and wanted to know about the helmet, so she showed it to Jack. Jack then went into the game and someone sliced his head. Jack was really curious and went in again. But again the same thing happened to him, but he wanted to learn more and more. Next day in the morning, Auggie left her house, but Saul was sitting on the front door waiting for her as he saw her messages, but Auggie went on. Saul asked her about her countdown, and she explained that as she closed her project, the countdown also stopped, but Saul thought it as a joke. But Auggie got angry and went on. Same morning, she went to graveyard to give his respect to his late wife, but he met a strange girl there, and he left from there for his work. The following day, a parcel came for Jack. After opening it, he got a golden helmet same as Jin, and a letter there stated that enjoy the game, and so he puts the helmet on. As he entered,
A man came near him with a little girl, and he punched that man, but then this time the man didn't came to kill him, so he listened what he wanted to say.
he was then asked to change his name, but he again punched the man on his face. Later, the scene changes towards Will. He gets a call from his doctor who tells him he has got cancer. Later, Will meets Jack, and Jack, without stopping, tells him about the game he played, but Will stops him and tells that he has gotten pancreatic cancer and it is spread everywhere in his body, and tells that he has 2 to 6 months left to live. Jack then denied and says that let the doctor word go in ground and tells that he will do everything he can to save him and not let him die. That night, Jin again plays that game and reaches in a castle. As she bangs on the door and she was let in. Count was in front of Emperor Zhu and explained him the about sun and night and told that they are living in imbalanced time. Count then starts to place pieces of wood on the ground to make a code to tell the exact time when the peacetime will come and everyone could be revived, but Jin denies his theory as it is impossible in the world, but Zhu tells her which world and she gets shocked. Count then tells that he has prepared now and told that in 8 days the time will be good for them to put the dead people in water. Count then asks Jin to put her hand on the ground as then the time will pass quickly. As Jin puts on her hand on the ground, she witnesses the day and night passing quickly in second, and then he tells the emperor that it's the best time to put the people in the water to be alive, and the emperor ordered the soldiers to do so. Then while looking into the water, everyone was revived and rehydrated, but then suddenly a wave came towards them. Jin showed it to Count, and he was confused at what is happening. The emperor quickly ran towards the shelter, and everyone outside became frozen except Jin. Then another woman came to her and told that now she is gone to level 2, and she should save the civilization with her science this time. Later, Dashi was called by his superior and was asked about Evans, but he had no clue, and so his superior told that did he got any news about the sky blinking, so he said that Evans could be behind all this, and told that he checked some satellite and got the information that in 1977 in Ohio State, the star blinked and the scientists called it WOW signal. He told his superior that they thought it as a signal given by aliens, but no one could decode it. The scene again changed to 1977. Wenjie and Yang were out in the forest searching for some answers and met Mike Evans, who was trying to save a species of a bird. But Wenjie told her that they are going to take the land and make a radiology lab for experiments. Later, Wenjie and Yang talked about not to use the land where there was the village and to work on empty land, but Yang didn't allow and suggested that they will use the other land at any cost. Yang told her that she has spent 8 years in finding such a place, and now she wants to give up, and told that there are workers coming to help us, and in between them there is a woman Tang Hongjing who can help us. She is not a scientist but used to be a Red Guard, and in 1966 she killed a professor called Yi Jedi. Next day, Wenjie went to field and met Tang Hongjing. She had her hand cut off because of infection, but was still psychopath, so Wenjie left her in the field to rotten herself. That night, while Wenjie was listening to sound, suddenly she heard a different sound and quickly went to see the pattern, and from it she got some numbers, and when she decoded them she got a message out of it which stated that, "Don't answer to the message as you are lucky, I saw the message, and if you answered your world will be conquered." Wenjie, after reading the message, got scared and left her seat and went out to look into the sky. Then she again came in and wrote a message for them in reply about come to save them all as they cannot save themselves, and she will help them in doing it. And then she emitted the signals to Sun once again. Sure to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notification. Leave me comments and let me know what you think. Your feedback and comments are always appreciated. Thanks for watching.